when it releases new models from 2019. 2019, not that far away, but how long before our roads are full of electric cars? Wake Up to Money's Sean Farrington is down on the piazza just outside the Five Live studios, hanging out in a Tesla. And these cars, they're nice, Sean, but they're spenny as well, aren't they?
They are. This is a cherry red Tesla Model S I've got in front of me. It's freshly cleaned, I think. It looks like it's just been driven straight off a car advert. Looks nice. A lot of people say similar to a Maserati or a kind of Jaguar, in that realm, and I guess so they should. Starting price, if you go on the website, is about £60,000, but a lot of them that are on the road, there's about 2,000 odd Teslas around the UK on the road at the minute. Will be much more than that at the moment, but Tesla's recently announced it's going to launch its mass market car, so more around the £30,000 mark. So alongside Volvo saying yesterday that it wants to make all electric and hybrid cars from 2019, it feels like there's quite a bit of a step in the last few days. This car belongs to Chris Danks, runs an IT firm in Ellesmere Port. Chris, morning. You've gone full electric now. You used to running a diesel Merc. Why the change?
With the electric cars, you've got your zero emissions to start with, so there's no smelly exhaust coming out of it, and the performance of the car, it saves a lot of money too. It's a lot cheaper to run than a diesel car. Well,
let's have a look at it. Can you pop open the boot first? Because the bonnet, we'll pop open the bonnet just to see, get the right end of the car, right? You can tell I'm not a petrol head. And get that open. And what have we got in here? So, right, first thing you see, it's a bit like the old-fashioned Volkswagen Beetle. You don't see an engine in there in the front.
No, there's nothing in the front. It's literally just a storage area where I keep my charging cables. And the only thing you can do is add window screen fluids. Nothing else, no moving parts. It's just, yeah.
I like that.
Straightforward.
You can pay 120 grand for a car, but you've still got to put the windscreen fluid in the same as you normally do with a little capper. Yes. Right, let's get inside the car. Let's see how it might work once we're inside, because that is quite a big difference as well. It's usual inside of a sports car. The dashboard is very much like a big tablet you've got. So, Chris, if I get you to turn the car on.
It's on.
It's on.
Yes.
So literally not a
noise,
not a beep, not a noise.
Beep, no engine, no sounds. You just put your foot down the to go, and needs the brake, and that's it. I wouldn't say the gas pedal down, but you put your foot down the pedal, and it just goes.
When you were driving a diesel Merc, surely one of the reasons you were driving one of those expensive cars was because of the feel of driving a sort of high-class sports car.
Not for me, it wasn't. I just like nice cars. It's not just a car. It's it's like an iPhone on wheels. It's technology, but this is nothing compares to this. The Mercedes was noisy. It was diesel. It was loud, and if the winter, it would take a while for the heaters to come on. Because you have a cold engine. Electric cars, you don't have that issue. It's instant heat.
What about when you're driving it around? Do you feel sort of a little more insecure? The fact it's so quiet and maybe nobody can hear you as you're going down the road.
Quite the opposite. It was very smooth. If you've got your windows open, you can hear a lot more because there's no noisy engine. So it's actually better than driving. It's less noise, so you can hear more. People can't hear you if you're going slow. That's is a bit of an issue going forwards. But for me, it's nice and quiet. It's a lot better drive than anything I've ever drove before.
Do you find pedestrians and other drivers react differently to you because they can't hear you as much?
I have found going through car parks, certain people might just walk out in front of you because they can't always hear you coming. You can hear the wheels turning on the roads, these stones, you hear them crunching, but you don't hear a noise coming from the car because there's no engine.
And the big thing, charging it and keeping it fully charged so that you can drive it wherever you want to drive it. How has that changed in your life been? Because you would have normally been filling up a tank every week or two in your Merc.
When I first was going electric, that was the first thing on my mind, and anyone who's probably thinking of electric car, the first thing that comes to your mind is, how do I fill it up? How do I charge the car? They might not even see charging stations, they might not know where it is, but I used to think that got the car to the complete opposite. I charge from home, so every day I go to bed at night, I might have an empty battery, wake up in the morning and I've got 280 miles on the car. Not many people do 280 miles a day. Some people that might last them a week. And you can charge from home, overnight, daytime, whatever. But if you are doing longer journeys, like I drove to Amsterdam recently, There's a supercharger network that I can just use. He's also charges at service stations.
That's for high-end Teslas, though, isn't it? I mean, if these become really mainstream now, I mean, there's like the Nissan Leaf is out there in a minute. I think you bought your parents one of those recently, so you're sort of familiar with that. Do you think there's a little bit of a worry that the infrastructure isn't there if all of a sudden there are millions of electric cars on our road?
We are getting there. There's some shopping centres, mainly in the south of the country now, that I've got 10, even 20 car chargers in the car park. I think there's Sainsbury's out there that I've got about 20 chargers. So when other people start moving forward, Trafford Centre a day, you've got 10 now. So you could go shopping, plug your car in, go shopping, have lunch, maybe the cinema, you come out and your car's full.
Chris, thanks very much for that. Chris Danks there, who runs an IT firm but also owns one of the latest Teslas that's been on the road in the UK. A phenomenal thing as well, the technology in here, not so much to do with it being an electric car, but yeah, Chris can get out of his car and his home, and his garage is about as wide as it is the car. So he gets out the car, presses a button, and it parks it in there on its own. It's quite phenomenal how this technology is moving.
I was looking at one of those because they had one parked at some event I was at, and I said, but where am I going to put all the stuff that I need when I'm driving down to see the in-laws in the summer with 4 blooming kids, and the buggy and the flipping, what's it called, travel cart and all that, and the booster seat. And they kind of opened up the front boot and said, yeah. And it was just a big empty box where the engine normally is. It's quite impressive. That's my bid for a free Tesla. I'm not sure it'll get me very far. Thank you very much, Sean. He's gone.
He's whizzed off. Right, this one for your call, paedophile hunters. Where do you draw the line? These are the untrained, unregulated volunteers who actively look for people who target children online. They often